You're 30. You have hit the 30. You no longer see twos in your age and you're panicking. What am I going to do? My life is over. I have no kids. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have the right job. I've just lost my job. What am I going to do? Will I be able to have kids one day? All these thoughts are coming to you. They may not, but I feel like specifically on the area of kids and relationship and things like that, these thoughts definitely come into play when you get to 30. And, you know, I've felt that as well. I'm turning 35 in November. Yes. And I have no kids. I've never been married. I'm not married. I don't even have a boyfriend. And yes, so I can completely, if you've just turned 30, well, you've got a lot more years than I have. So I just want to say that don't panic. Don't panic just yet, okay? I think if you're more towards the mid 30s and you really listen, you're more towards like, I don't know, getting to 35, 36, 37, and you want kids, like this is like a non-negotiable, like kids was the thing that you want in your life, then yes, I do think there needs to be not a panic, but there needs to be a reset of I need to figure out what my priorities are, because unfortunately, time is just something that is not going to last in this biological system of childbearing, unfortunately, and that's just the reality of it. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, being 34 and having no kids is really ideal. This is not a reality that if you really want kids in your life that I would encourage to anyone. I really wouldn't. I'm specifically talking about the women that want kids, because it's just mentally quite tasking. You know, it's mentally, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm suffering right now mentally. I may look like I'm perfectly well, which, you know, on the most contexts I am, but I'm actually, it's put me into a sense of overthinking, you know, and the reason why I've literally, at the moment, I feel my body feels very stressed. My stomach feels very tight. I've been having some issues for the last week. I feel very unwell right now, like very anxious and unwell. But also at the same time, I feel like I have to share this. Like, I don't know why. It's like a sense of like I have to share this with others, other women, to know that they're not alone. That if you're experiencing these things as well, just know that it doesn't matter how someone looks on the outside or how everything hunky-dory may be going, that these are real things that happen, you know. Yes, and maybe it is some kind of societal pressure that I do feel, being 34 and having no kids and having, you know, no boyfriend and things like that. I do feel like a pressure, and it's like it's, you know, before it's just like a weekly thing, like I just think about it. Now it's like it's an everyday thing, like I'm constantly thinking about it, and it's I'm trying to switch the brain like off, like bye, like, you know, it's gonna be okay. And I just wanted to share with you guys, and hopefully I'm reaching an audience of women that maybe are in their 30s and are feeling this way. They're feeling, you know, it's hard out there, you know, and I live alone as well. So like, it's not just that, it's like the financial pressure, it's a societal pressure. And then it's like finding someone, it's very, and they can say, oh, you're in your 30s, you're washed up. Like, I'm not here for that narrative. I'm over that. I'm not here for that narrative. So we're here for the narrative of we're here at 30 plus and we don't have a boyfriend, we don't have these things, and you may want them. So I'm trying to think of solutions of how to solve this. And, I think number one is to come to the realization that when you hit 30, your life is not over, okay? Your life is not over. I'm so thankful that I never had kids in my 20s. The reason for that is I mentally would not be the right person or the right mother to be there for someone mentally. I would not be. I'm thankful that I was never had kids in my 20s, to be honest. And that's not to say that women in their 20s that have children cannot, mentally look after a child. No. Personally, for me, I believe the reason why this happened the way it does is I do honestly believe that there is a way that the universe gives us things in our life and plans out in a way that some things just haven't happened to you yet. And I actually think that we need to start looking at it as a beautiful thing. Like, what I mean by that is start looking at it as a way of, okay, I don't have kids yet. I'm not married yet. And then, yeah, you can ask the question, like for me, I've asked it, why? Why am I not? Why hasn't this happened to me? But then I also got to be really accountable for things as well. Like, I'm very dismissive of new people, and I'm not very open to like dating just like people, and I'm not very have no need to get out of my house too much. And so, I've kind of got to balance it a little bit. I mean, something's got to give a little, so, but I do just want to say that I do feel like when you hit 30, there is something different that happens, like just spiritually and just mentally, you start to, I feel like you will have the biggest growth in your 30s. And you start to view things differently. I definitely believe like a woman in her 30s is definitely going to be a different mother to the woman that she would be in her 20s. It doesn't mean to say that either one is right or wrong. I'm just saying they're very different women. And I truly believe that if you are 30 right now and you do feel a bit like hopeless and a bit like alone, just know that you're not alone. There are many, it's not over. Okay, your life is not over at 30. I know that there can be a rhetoric around like, oh, you hit 30, then just that's it. You're old. Why breathe? I mean, come on. It's ridiculous, right? But yeah, so don't look at it as that. Look at it as I've made it to 30. You've made it to 30. Some people do not even make it to 30. You have made it to 30. So there is something that you have to give out there to the universe. There is something you're here for, okay? And I'm just going through this from the top of my head. I just feel like I need to just get this out so other women know that there is not a place of loneliness in your 30s. There are definitely other women, and I really want other women, especially in their 30s, to convene here in the comment section below and really share where you are at this point in your life. Do you have kids? Do you don't have kids? Maybe you're not in a job that you want. Maybe your career is not the place that you want to be. Maybe you're in the relationship you don't want to be in. Maybe you're scared to start something new because you feel like your age is limiting you. No, I don't want you to feel like this. I do want you to feel that it doesn't matter if you've got a 3 in front of your age. There is still no limitation to what you can possibly do, okay? And that there is no limitation to new things that you can start, okay? And there are other women out here that are in their 30s like me that don't have kids and they're not married, okay? Now, I'm not saying that this is the ideal spot that I want to be in, okay? So I'm not saying that this is where I necessarily want to be, but I'm here. So let's just enjoy where we're at, okay? Because there is a beauty about having no kids. There is some freedom that you have around that, and maybe that if you had kids, you wouldn't be able to reset I'm not saying that reset, but I mean, you wouldn't have the ease to just start something new. So maybe you've just turned 30, you're in a career that you really don't like, you don't have kids, you don't have that responsibility. You can make that change if you want to. Why not? You don't have kids to have that responsibility on. So you can use that as an opportunity and look at that as a blessing almost. Okay? And you have time for yourself. Maybe this is a time for you to just really spend just time with yourself, really indulge in some really self-love moments here for yourself, where you're not concerned about anyone else or anything else, just truly just evolving yourself into that woman that you want to be. And that's absolutely fine as well. It's not selfish, and it's definitely not this whole narrative of, oh, it's over for you. No, it's not over for you. Okay, I would only say that the moment that where I'm at is that I did want kids, and I'm so sad for myself that I'm saying it is in past tense, because I am 34 and I have to come to the reality that the fact that my biological clock is here, okay, and it is what it is. And I mean, I don't want to come to that reality, because I do not like what I'm really big on, like, what you speak into existence is something that's going to come into fruition into your life and reality. But I've got to be very realistic in it, and also accountable for where I'm at as well. And I think I have to be accountable a little bit to why maybe this hasn't happened for me. And and it's a hard pill to swallow. But I'm not saying it's one that I've come to not love the idea, but I'm now coming with peace to the idea of it, that maybe that's not my path in life. I don't know. Okay. Would I want that to be my path? Of course, I would love that. But am I going to stress myself every day about it? No. Am I putting myself in positions where I can open myself up for maybe that to be that path? Yes, I have. I've opened myself up to be I'm not saying less selective, but a bit more open-minded to other possibilities, other people, other situations that can come into my life. So maybe I can explore that part. It's something that I've been very restricted on, of who I interact with, what energy I have around, which I still am, but also at the same time there has to be a balance, I think, of are you going too far to the point where no one can ever get to understand or know you, and then finding that balance of, well, then you don't also want someone that's going to literally take the mick out of you, and take advantage of any situation that you're in. Because it's a very big decision for you to have a child with someone. It's a huge decision to make, and it's not something that you can just no. If you mess up that choice, that is not something that is like, oh, like tomorrow it can be fixed. No, that's gonna stick with you for the next your lifetime, basically. So it's very important to choose someone that's going to be very fitting to be able to have the same values and goals as you. At the same time, I don't want women to start thinking, when they hit 30, like, just that's it, it's over, because it's not. Okay, so but I'm really interested to know how other women are feeling in their 30s. Let me know. Maybe you're just about to turn 30 and this is a daunting moment for you. You're just like, no way, like, what the hell? I'm 30, I'm here. You could even be living at home. I don't know what your situation is, but you could be in situations where it makes you feel like you're behind. Like you're behind. It can make you feel like there's no why. When you see it on social media, everyone's like in nice, happy relationships, and you're like looking like, oh God, that's nice. And how? But like, you're not behind. And I really, really feel it's very important for other women to hear other women know that not only are they the same age group, like they're in their 30s, they don't have kids, they don't have a boyfriend, blah, 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 and to see another woman in their 30s, and just like a community of other women that get it, like they get it. Because we're in their 30s, doesn't mean that no one doesn't want you. Doesn't mean that you've maybe this is a conscious choice. Maybe you don't want to just jump into something and then for it to be something so like a waste of your time and your energy. Like, there are these women in their 30s that are very beautiful, pretty, intelligent, kind women that would be great mothers and would have all these amazing values and qualities. And unfortunately, society has now, and some men, I would say mainly, have put this narrative that it's over, and we actually believing that. Now, I'm not here saying that's incorrect. No, I am also got to be very real with you women and say that if you do want kids, this is to the women that want kids, then, and you are in your 30s, really, really hone in and really focus forget it, like career. I'm not saying forget about your career. I'm saying, yes, your career is important, but do not forget to put yourself out there, to be open to dating, to be open, to have an open heart, to love, to let that in. Maybe I'm not saying just settle, definitely not, but I'm saying if they're not 6 foot, okay, what's going to happen? That's not what you should be looking for. You should be looking for what values, what qualities they have to be a good father, to be long term, because I'm telling you, looks will fade, okay? And it's not about the 6 foot tall and the perfect skin. It's not. It's about who they are as a person, who they are intrinsically, what their morals, what their values, what their goals are. That's what's important. That will sustain long term a healthy, really healthy, communicative relationship that will hopefully not be one that kind of, if you've grown up in a very chaotic household, that doesn't reflect that. Because I'm telling you, from the ages of, when you have kids from the ages of 0 to 5, they're very, very susceptible to, this will kind of prime their self of who they are as an adult. This is what their nucleus will be of their personality, of their belief system, of their thought system, of going into an adult. And so you need someone that will be able to align with you nicely, to nurture that child, especially in those years of 0 to 5, so they can become into a full-rounded human being. And yes, that's not determined by whether someone is 6 foot tall, but it's determined by someone's intrinsic values and morals. And so yeah, I think that's important as well. So women, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not over, but if you want kids and things like this, you need to be proactive to get those steps moving, and just be open to that. And even if that's with kids, or whether that's a career, or whether that's anything else that you really want to do, I would definitely encourage you to do that, especially if you have no kids. Like, you literally have no real excuse, because I've seen these women, like, they have kids and they are doing it all, and I'm just like, how, like, what happens? Like, does something happen to your body when you have kids and you just can do everything? Because I look at them, I'm like, some of these women, they're like working, some of them got like 2 jobs, trying to and then they come here, and then some of them are like content creators, they do this after. I'm just like, how? And so we have the women with no kids, we have really no excuse to make that change, because really a kid is a real big responsibility, and a lot of people cannot just make a change of, I'm just going to change my career. They have to think also, put their child first. So it's kind of like a blessing and a curse, I believe, at the same time. Being in your 30s, having no kids, and maybe not being particularly where you want to be in your life. It's a blessing because you can make the change to become that. And I really just want other women to know out there that if you've hit 30, it's not over. It's the start of you gonna venture on to something amazing. And I would just bless every day. Just every day you wake up, just be like, what am I going to do today that's going to push me forward? Even if it's just one step that's going to push me forward to the woman that I want to be. And, you know, for someone who's 34, and I can now tell you when you hit your 30, I know you feel like it's really old, but it's really not as old as you think it is. I just want you not to feel that panic, because that panic kind of caused me such a delay, and I didn't really appreciate my 30s. I'm still in my 30s. I'm, 34, but going 35. But I wish those years of like 30 to 35, I wish I used them better. And I was so stuck onto the idea that it was over for me. I was old. That's it. Just give up. And I look back at it now, and I think I could have used those years so much better. I could have utilized every single day of those, just based on just for career, passion, everything, even love, and anything that's not really you feel like you're behind. I kind of just hid myself away and just kind of got on with it. But I don't necessarily think that's sufficient long term. I do think, yes, being with yourself, spending a lot of time alone is very important. But also, I do believe that like you have something that you are here on this world, this universe. The time that we have here is to share what you have with someone else and a companion, and to share that in an environment where it's not just yourself. And look, I'm someone who's very introverted. I love being alone. This is an issue because I love it to the point where it's like, I really don't need to speak to people for like a long time. Like, people low-key kind of like, they can be a little bit annoying, but I've come to understand that like, I'm not annoyed by this person. I've got to accept that people are all different, and that's fine. And I'm at peace, and someone else's peace might be loudness, and that's that. And yes, I do like to protect my energy, and I do like all that, but I just feel that we shouldn't go too far to the spectrum, which I did to the extreme, where it's like you've almost isolated yourself, and no one's going to find you like that, unfortunately. So I don't know what I was saying, but I feel like I was saying something. I don't know if anyone got anything out of this, but if you are a woman in your 30s and you're panicking, I really don't want you to. The second thing is, if you're like just turned 30, I really want you to use these years. Like, don't let these years go away because of this thing that they've taught us is like, when you've hit 30, it's over, No, this is the becoming of you as a woman, is you hitting 30. You as a woman becoming 30 is a blessing, okay? And if you're in your 20s, just about to hit 30, please, again, look at it as I've made it to 30. And women, like in my bracket, like 34 upwards, and you're in a position where you're like, what the hell am I doing? Don't worry, I'm there too, and you're not alone. And just keep going, be open, try and surround yourself with good energy, but also be open. Just be open. Just do things out of your comfort zone, because I really wish like I didn't spend those years like just so focused on where I was and comparing myself to like where other people are. No, it doesn't matter. Like, your time is coming. Like, you're here for a reason. There's something you're here for, okay? And yeah. So yeah. Women, here we are. So you're not alone. But yeah, being 34, having no kids, no boyfriend, it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. I'm just getting through it daily, but I'm trying to be a bit more open now, and I've got to put myself in positions where this reality is going to change, because I literally have like a couple of years, if that, to make this possible. And yeah, also I would say is that to give you some more comfort, well, I don't know if it'll give you more comfort, but to the women that want kids, I would highly, highly recommend you just if you're really like beginning to a point of like, oh my God, can I ever have kids? Like, I actually went to the London's Women Clinic and I got everything checked out. And fortunately, I'm my body is like very fertile, fortunately. And but I can talk into more depth about the whole day of that and the cost, what I did, and how everything kind of planned out with that, because I really think that helped me a lot with my mind, and just to know that there is still hope if I wanted to have kids. And yeah, so if you want me to talk about that more depth, I will. And just the whole process of maybe freezing your eggs and etc. and yeah, so let me know if you want to for me to talk about that. But women in your 30s, you've got this. Keep going. Be open. It's not over. Stop listening to those people that keep telling you it's over, because it's not over. And trust me, your 30s will be, you'll become the woman that you really are looking to be. Trust me. Okay, please comment below if you're in your 30s and you're a woman. Please comment below where you are. Doesn't matter if you've got no job, you've got no kids. Just let other women know where you're at, so we can all see that we're not alone here on these, that no, not everyone's left behind, and we're not all here stuck to those kind of societal pressures. Please, please, please. The whole point of me doing this and being so vulnerable here and sharing my things and being open about that is because I want other women to know that they are not alone, that is something I think much better done together as women, as a collective, where we can know that there's other women out there that also are feeling the same way. And just even reading some comments, you don't understand how that can help another woman just feel like, okay, I'm not the only one in this position, and it just gives that person a sense of like, I'm not alone. And it also will give that sense to me. So I would appreciate if you would share with me where you're at, and then just any other things that we can talk about. Really, just us being women in our 30s trying to navigate this, you know what I mean? Because this is hard when you're doing it by yourself, trust me. So, okay, women, love you all. Yeah, comment below. Please subscribe to this channel. I really would appreciate you women to subscribe. Just press that button. The reason why I'm asking you, because it allows the channel to grow, and I really want to grow so I can share and serve in my voice and in my experiences, and hopefully this will help other women as well. And yeah, so thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. Keep going, keep doing your thing. You've got this and you're not alone. Thank you very much. This is the Nana Journey. Bye, guys.